Day 13. It's a Sunday. Sundays, I review my week and see how I can make next week better than this week. So what did I do today? By the way, if you're not familiar with this series, I'm basically creating a company that buys companies using bank loans and the money within the company to buy it out. It's called leverage buyout. But what did I do today? So yesterday I was hitting defense and I got another flat tire. And it was like the weirdest flat tire I've ever had because it didn't even give me the alarm, like the exclamation mark. It didn't even have any alarm, but the tire still went flat. So I had to change the tire. I tried to put air in it, but it just kept on losing air. And today was Sunday, so everything is closed as far as like auto shops. They're all closed on Sundays, so I was basically stuck in the house today. First time in a long time, within like the last 2 months, I'd say, at least. First time in the house. So what did I do? Well, first of all, today I caught up on sleep because I usually stay up throughout the week and I only catch up on sleep one day a week, and that was today. So today I was working on my mentor list, which is like a long project I'm doing. I'm not very rushed in that process. But one of the people on my mentor list, I was studying them today. And again, I'm not going to be sharing the names. There's a lot of details throughout this journey that I cannot share. But I found out he has a movie about his journey and about how he bought a company for 25 billion with a B. He bought a company for $25 billion. And it was based off of a true story. And you get to kind of see how the big players play in this game. You know, riding around in limos and board meetings and banks, private jets, different negotiations. Like, these people work while they're like on a golf course, while they're having a super fancy dinner or going to like a fancy event. That's considered work for them. Like, that's them working. They just talk, you know? Like, there was a CEO who started off as a salesman. He used to sell newspapers as like a 10-year-old, and then he went door to door selling like photography. He was a salesman, and then he eventually became a CEO. And the mentor guy I was talking about was competing to buy this company against the CEO. The CEO found out his plan, and the CEO literally copied him and tried to buy his own company because he didn't own the company 100%. He had a board and all this and that. But it happens very often where the employee tries to buy out the company. I've talked about this in one of my old videos about some guy who worked at a pharmacy, bought out the pharmacy, yada, yada, yada. Anyways, you get to kind of see how these people play. And the big players in this game, the private equity, M&A, LBO, leverage buyout game, these people look at the game like it's war. They don't play around when it comes to this game. Like, these people, when they sit in the meetings, they have like poker faces, you know? Like, they have hobbies like hunting. Like, they like to hunt. Like, they want to win the battle. They want to win the war. They play the game as if it's like that. You know, it's not like business. It's you're consuming a company. You're at war. You know, people back in the day when they used to fight with swords, like, go like hella angry, screaming at the other people, like ready to like devour, you know? And it's literally like that. That's the game. And I absolutely love that about the game. I love that. Like the stress of it, I was watching it and I was like, I could enjoy this. Like I could see myself doing this. And I don't watch movies, but this movie I really enjoyed. I got recommended to watch it by someone else. And this is something, and after I watched it, I also watched an interview of the mentor that I've been studying. And he mentioned a couple great things. He's very old, extremely old, and he's one of the richest people in the world. And oftentimes these rich people, when they get old enough and they're ready to retire, they always say that they enjoy giving back. Like they want to teach other people. And that's perfect for me. But you see, when I'm making these videos, I can't mention that. Like I'm giving hints right now. I'm saying he has a movie, mentioning like, if you're paying attention, you could find it, right? But why would I make these videos and create direct competition? Like in the movie, the guy's given an offer for the company and another guy's given another offer, and they're literally like getting spies from their team onto the other team to like communicate like what they're doing and what they would offer. Like this game is a private game. It's not a public game. And it really makes me question why I make these videos. You know, part of me just wants to document the journey, but kind of like just put it on private. I'll still record every day because I would love to go back and watch it, you know, but why does it have to be public? You know what I mean? That's a good question. Why does it have to be public? I guess the only reason why I think and why I make it public is because you could attract the right connections off of it, but that's only if you do it right. Like if I'm on these videos shirtless, the people in this game probably would see that and think, you know, unprofessional. I am young, right? But I have the vision. I can see this working. Another thing that he was talking about in the interview was the way, like negotiating tactics and how you negotiate. And I've heard this so many times. When I used to work at the dealership, they used to tell me this. People like to do business with people that they like and people that they can trust, right? Now, this guy who's worth billions of dollars is saying the same thing. And what do I think about that? Well, it reminds me of what Tom Brady said on one of his interviews. He said his leadership style is through showing that he cares. And how do you show you care? How do you show someone that they could trust you? How does someone like you? So I looked into it, right? I've read into it, and depends what situation you're in, obviously. If you're negotiating $1 billion transaction, it's different than if you're meeting someone in a taxi. But generally, getting someone else to talk about themselves makes them like you. And not just getting them to talk, but getting them to talk and you showing that you listen. Like the ability to listen is actually a skill. Like people think they know how to listen more than they actually do. But I think the ability to get someone to like you in a lot of cases, because you know it's different between the taxi and $1 billion transaction, but the difference is your ability to show your competence and the ability to show your actions. Like your actions will speak for you. Like no matter how nice I am with my words, if I'm with you and you know I pick up the bill, or you know I bring you something nice, like I take an action with my money to grab something and give it to you, no matter what I do, that will make you automatically like me. Even if you know it's fake, you will still like it. Your ability to show let's say your company has like NBA tickets, like season tickets, right? And you're like trying to get someone to like you, you give them a ticket, you know? You show appreciation through your actions, make someone like you. Your ability to show your capabilities is what makes people like you. But when I worked at a dealership, I remember my manager, he emphasized this a lot more with me than any other person. Because I worked there for like 8 months. So I got to see a lot of trainees come in and out and different employees come in and out. And whenever I was learning about the dealership world, they put me in training and I was really good at the part of like the paper and like communicating. Like my manager would tell me that you got the gift of gab, which means like you know how to talk. But my biggest problem was, what am I selling? Like the product, explaining the product. Like a lot of times I don't care about that. And it comes off. And when they ask you questions, you lose trust when you don't know about what you're selling. You're just trying to sell. You look like a bullshit artist, you know? Maybe I'm wrong about myself, but that's what happened. And I found that a lot of times I was like that. Not saying I'm a bullshit artist. I'm just saying that it's interesting that um, it's just interesting. I guess I'm not tying it together right now, but it just reminded me of the dealership. So another thing I did today was I was just doing emails with different accounting firms, and I set up about 4 appointments. I have 2 tomorrow, and I have to set up a 5th appointment with a unique accounting firm, but they don't respond on the weekends, man. They don't respond on the weekends. So it just means I have to take even more advantage during the weekdays. And I need to fix my tire for tomorrow. But yeah, my weekly goals from this week, I really didn't hit them. It wasn't the best week. I'm not saying like, oh, my day was terrible. I'm just saying, you know, I had a great week, but in terms of hitting my goals, you know, it wasn't the best. Yeah, but I'm gonna keep this video short. Hope you guys enjoy.